Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Listen in.
Starbucks. It's a great day for coffee.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
La-di-da-di-da.
La dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da. Welcome to another episode of But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever been wrong. It's quite remarkable. We are being studied. Would you donate your body to science?
You know what? Yeah.
Me
What
too.
am I going to do with it? I am an organ donor, so.
Yeah. Also, I have such intense main character syndrome that I'm like, of course they want my body for science. Like,
Have you gone to the museum where they have those bodies?
no, and I'm not even going to ask any follow-up questions because I have no desire to.
It's pretty interesting.
No, thank you.
But I know that man that donated his mom to science, but then it turned out the military got her body and they blew her up. So that's one downside.
I'm gonna find a scientist to give my body
That's
to.
what I was going to say. You have to make sure that you have the right channels involved, and you should do it yourself.
Maybe in my final years of life, I'll become a libertarian, really distrustful of the government in not a constructive way and more of like a militia way. And I'll go through those illegal channels, find a scientist, give my body to them. But at the same time, if a scientist is like, it's just a random one-off scientist, like, yeah, give me your body through the back door. That sounds like the beginning of a Criminal Minds episode. They may not be.
I also had a thought that I wanted, because you can get your body turned into like a diamond, and I felt like Melisa Diamond should be a diamond, but they can also just do it with your hair. So just take my hair and do it.
Does it have to be virgin hair?
Probably not.
Okay.
How much stuff they have to process? Probably not.
Yeah, true. This is crazy. Go science. This is a science podcast, actually. We talk so much about science. And so we've got 3 different segments on the show. We will explain each of them before we get into them. But what you really need to know is you are a participant. You don't just have to listen. Well, you don't have to listen. You're choosing to listen. You're here now. But you can also participate by voting on who you think was wrong in each segment that we discuss. That will be over on our Instagram stories. And then tomorrow, Friday, you can listen to an episode where we read the results of last week's episode. So the following Friday, a week from tomorrow, you will hear the results from this week's episode, today's episode. And it's a grand old, fantastic time. And I think it'll be fun because I am so oddly passionate about one of these things. I don't think it's odd nor surprising my passion for the other. One of them is like something I newly discovered that I now care so much about.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on both of these things.
So our first segment is But Am I Wrong? Where we pitch to each other and to you, the audience, either something that we are going through our own life. Are we wrong in this circumstance, in this situation? Or it could be a hot take or a rant or something we just need to discuss. And mine is something I never once thought about before. And now put me on a magazine. I'm going to start a charity organization. I now care deeply, deeply about this. And my hot take is catch and release fishing is not humane.
Did you see my comment on your video?
No, when did you comment?
Yesterday.
Bitch, where? Let me see. You usually show up at the top. Ma'am, you forgot to press enter. This comment is not there.
I'm upset.
Yeah, and you're always at the top because I know that even when it's not my own video, because I go to send you something and I open the comments and then I see you there and I go, okay, never mind.
I'm in the comments.
I know.
A lot. It's showing up on my end. Do you have me blocked?
No. Wait, imagine. Wait, that's crazy. Why can't I see it?
I don't know. I just screenshot it and sent it to you.
Melisa. First of all, there's a reason why that's not showing up. And that's art. That's pure art. So this, I did a TikTok about this. And this all stemmed from the fact that I was watching American Love Island, which I've had to stop watching because I have gotten so upset because this one guy who was in like the only couple that I was like, oh, this is like actually stable. And they were really sweet and they like really cared about each other. And like, it was so nice. He's just fucking it all up. And it's like the biggest shock of my life. And then it's like intercut with her being like, I miss him so much. Like, I hope he's being that. And I literally told him once, I was like, I can't watch it. Like, so we have to stop watching it until they get past the Casa Amor point. And then I'm going to read the recap on Reddit. So this is a conversation that they were having. And it's one of them was saying that one of the guys was talking about how he liked to fish. And then they quickly followed it up with only like, catch and release, like only humane way. And then the girl was like, oh, yeah, me too. But like, yeah, no, I would only like not to eat like the humane way. And as they were saying that, I was like, okay, yeah, but well, I guess I've never heard humane and catch and release used in like simultaneously. And so when they both were like, no, yeah, of course, catch and release. I was a little shocked because this guy, he lives in Alabama or Florida. I think it's Alabama, but he's like a snake wrangler. Like he like is get critters, all of those kinds of things. And like he eats meat. So when he was like, oh, no, just catch and release. It was kind of a shock to me because it didn't match up with what I would see his personality. And the more I thought about it and looked into it, I realized that one of these ways you are fueling your body, you are feeding your family. It is the circle of life. It is part of just the ecosystem of what happens. And then the other one is for fun. We are kidnapping, piercing, and torturing fish and then throwing them back. And then that's supposed to be the better, more humane way. And like, as soon as that clicked in my head, I was like, wait, truly, what the fuck? Like, that's so fucking weird. And so I had posted a TikTok about it. And the one person was like, oh, when you're just doing catch and release, like you don't do anything sharp that could puncture. Like they're just too stupid to know that they can't. And I was like, first of all, you are playing, they're the competing team in this sport. Like we can't talk down on them. Like that's, don't be mean to the fish. But I'm like, you're still pulling them out of water where they can't breathe. So like, regardless of that, or if it's like, oh, they heal. And I'm like, if I stabbed you in a non-lethal place and it was not on an artery or wasn't that deep, you would also heal, but you still would have been stabbed. Like, it's just such an odd thing to me that like, thinking about it now, I went fishing one time as a kid, an attempt to go fishing one time. My dad like flung the, he didn't have the safety on the hook and it went through his finger. And so very quickly it was, this is done. And then we tried one more time and then I was chased by a swan and thankfully I got back inside and it was terrifying.
I'm just imagining.
Chubby little me who can't even run, waddling along, screaming her fucking ass off. And I go, I hate this place. It was a elderly condo community in Connecticut. I was like, take me to Pittsburgh, take me to the low income housing, give me potato salad.
So you can get your Spam.
Yeah. Let me eat my Spam. Let me have my potato salad in a can and my Hawaiian rolls and my the carnival, the ice cream cake from Walmart. Those are my people. Swans? Those are not my fucking people. And so like, even thinking about it, the idea that you would spend all of the time versus beyond it just being like, what waste of fucking time to me, where you're doing all of this to catch something to then just like throw it back, eat it. You put the work in. Why would you write an essay and then light it on fire? Like, that's so fucking weird. But even weirder to be like, no, I just wanted to have fun. Well, okay, if we keep thinking that like if young neighborhood kids, oh, they torture cats and like kill them, that's bad. Or they just like torture them and like let them go back to their homes. And we're like, it's kind of like, it's giving the hints of a young serial killer. But with fish, we go, no, because what? And to that, I would like to leave you with the infamous quote. Well, I'm going to actually alter the quote because it doesn't fit what I want to say. From Bruce. Fish are friends and or food. I added that part because he says fish are friends, not food. You can eat the fish. I eat the fish. But you got to choose. Either you value them so much, you're not going to eat them. Fucking weirder to me that you value them so much that you're just going to torture them. Hate it.
I agree with you.
Weird, right?
It's very weird.
And
I've never thought of
it.
First of all, I've never even thought of people just going fishing to fish. May I implore you to those people that have the giant magnets that go and find like knives and stuff in the water.
Say, have you learned of metal detecting? I think you would love it.
Like you can do the same thing. You throw something in the water, you wait until something catches on it, and then you pull it up. And then you might find a murder weapon in a crime that hasn't been solved. And then you're being a productive member of society.
Exactly. Contribute. But like, I think it's so weird that we've framed this thing that's quite literally torture as the humane way, and then looking down upon the alternative, which is putting something out of its misery very quickly and like humane, like doing it in a way that it is not prolonged. And it's like, oh God, that's disgusting. Instead, I'm actually going to hold it out of water until it's nearly suffocating. It's going to be, incredibly hurt. And then people are even telling me in the comments, like, quite often those fish still die.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never once thought about it. And now I am like the chairman of this board. Like, I'm so passionate about it. This is fucking weird.
The equivalent would be like holding a human underwater until they can't breathe and then pulling them up.
And then being like, we just had a fun little game. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then again, you have to go back and tell your friends. They're like, I don't believe you. That's crazy. What? For sport. And that is a sport. Nasty. Because like, here's what I'll say. Someone kidnaps me and they're just going to torture me. Just fucking kill me.
Right.
At least kill me and eat me. Feed your family.
To begin with.
So fucking weird. And like, you know what? Bears don't do that. And this is why I'm picking a bear, not the man.
Bears just go pick it up and eat it.
Yeah. Rip the head off quick as possible. Always picking the bear. That's fine.
I agree with you. I'm upset that my comment isn't showing up.
Oh, wait. Now we have to read Melissa's comment. And this is why it's not showing up. Because Melissa commented, you've never put your mouth around something only to be teased, lip-fingered, and then tossed aside? Now, I wonder why that's not showing up on my side as a comment. Oh, how curious. It's not even under, like, might be spam, approve this comment. It's none of it. It's just not there. As soon as it wasn't there, I was like, oh, you said something nasty. That's why. You said something fucking nasty.
All I did was explain the experience.
And we've been through it. But someone else had even said, like, my grandparents said that fish can't feel pain. And I was like, oh, similar to our cervix. Can't feel any pain. No nerve endings there. No, that doesn't hurt. They're fine.
All right. Here's my... Oh, I really cracked myself up there.
No, that was very funny. You did a great job.
All right. There was an article that came out in the New York Times called How to Party Without Regrets. And it was curated by George Gurley, Gurley.
Hey, Gurley.
And Carson Griffith, which came out on the 21st of this month. And then they had like these people contribute.
Last month?
Oh, yeah. It's a new month.
Yep.
They had these people contribute like how to be a good party planner.
Oh, my God. I thought you meant like how to take drugs and not die. That's so what, and I was like, wow, I didn't know we needed a whole, I was like, just paid for by testing strips. Like, that's great. Everyone should get some, and we should all get, what's it called? Narcan. And I was like, cool. Love that. Okay. So now party planning. Got it.
That is actually terrific.
So I thought it was. And I said, great. I love us doing that. Harm reduction.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, Rebecca Gardner said, please don't ask people to take their shoes off when entering your apartment. It's rude. And then Romilly Newman said, when you invite people into your home, you need to let go. You can't be like, you can't touch this. You have to take your shoes off. If you spill something, you are in trouble. Hosting is letting your guests enjoy themselves. I disagree. Hosting is welcoming people into your home, and they need to follow your fucking rules. If you don't want to follow the rules, then you don't need to be here. remember that like you're a guest in someone's home and you play by the rules. And then there's a CNN health article that said, we can track in all sorts of bacteria, but certainly some of the ones we're most concerned about are E. coli that cause severe abdominal cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. There's been studies that swab the bottom of shoes, and something like 99% of the shoes test positive for fecal matter. Studies have shown that in urban areas where there are older homes, lead and dust can be tracked into the home on the surface of shoes. Other studies have shown that you can bring in pesticide residues from gardens via your shoes. Heavy metals like lead and copper and zinc permeate the soils of urban parks and streets from decades of pollutants, while pesticide levels can be high in rural agricultural areas. So don't come to my house and expect to keep your shoes on. You walk in the door, you take your shoes off. You can enjoy your time in my home. I regularly sweep. I regularly mop with disinfectant that kills 99.9% of bacteria. It is not rude to ask somebody to take their shoes off. It's rude for you to bring germs into my home. And that's my take.
The fact that I literally read this article and I still didn't know what you were talking about at first. Melissa, when I read that, all I said was, so weird to interview people who have never once been invited back to a party. Like the way that they were, the shit that they were saying, one person was even saying like, rehearse when you're like having like your conversations, like keep your practice in the mirror and rehearse all of your like fun little anecdotes. Keep them under 1 minute. Keep them under 1 minute. 30 seconds is better. No one wants to talk to you for that long. And I'm like, who are you inviting?
The whole article was wild. I was so like, weird. Y'all are so whack. So whack. Like, I can tell y'all don't have friends.
And also, like, I can tell the friends that if you do have these friends, your friends are all as crusty as you are, because they're even saying like, it's like, what a social like it's a faux pas to ask people to take their shoes off. And I'm like, a cultural faux pas. And I go, you do realize it's also a cultural faux pas to keep your shoes on, depending on where, that's my ethos, but there are also just different countries, different nationalities. Right. It's wild. And like, you want to just like clomp around in shoes inside? What if those people have children, or there are children who are showing up there? And then you've got, because it's like, well, no, I trust all these adults to be clean or whatever. No. And I also, as a kid, I did a science fair project about like what we consider the most like dirty things. And the thing that everyone would say is public restrooms. And I said, I don't believe that's most dirty. And I did swaps of public restrooms, of toilet seats, and of the floors, of the sinks, of the handles, of all that, of the doorknobs.
The air vent that they don't really have them in bathrooms a lot anymore.
The Dyson ones are more common.
Yeah, the Dyson, but even those are nasty. Like they've swapped all those air vents and they're just nasty. But it's like, you're better off using a paper towel.
So again, this is like compared to the toilet seat and like touching the toilet paper, the handles, like all of those things that like we use that we're like, ew, gross, this is super nasty. And then I compared it to paper money and like coins and all that stuff. And public bathroom toilet seats are not nearly as dirty as the floors. And you know, it's even more dirt. The coins that would be on there that have like lasted on it because people are walking over them. And then dollar bills are the most because they're porous, so people can get stuff in them, but they're not leaving them there as often. And so like really the grossest thing is the floors. And that's because of the shoes and what's walking over and over again. Because if it was just the bathroom, the whole bathroom would be the same level of disgusting.
Right.
It's the floor. And the floor, you're not putting your bare ass on. And that is the grossest part. It had the most E. coli. So that's my science fair experiment. And it's just like, also when I like go to a house party or I'm like going something to like someone's home, you know what I am not planning my outfit around? My fucking shoes, because I'm going inside someone's home.
Right. Like for Juneteenth, I went to Avia's house and I took off my shoes and she was like, do you want some socks? And I was like, I brought my slippers.
That's me, yours.
Yeah.
Like I show up, if it's wintertime, I show up in my Birks with socks. If it's not, I show up with my Birks and then I have my socks in my bag.
Right.
Ready to be put on. And I like train people. I'm like, no, take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. And I teach my nephew when he comes over, he takes his shoes off. And anytime someone steps into our house or his house and they have their shoes on, he goes, you have to take your shoes off.
Mm-hmm.
And his parents are like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, come on, it's not. Let him
really
and
not.
let him be the bad guy. Let him be the one calling all the rules. Nasty. Ugh. I feel like those people also eat at anybody's house.
Yeah. Even just reading through this article, it's like when you get an invitation, it's your obligation to bring something. Do I offer? Yes. But when people ask me, I really don't want you to bring anything because I have curated this and I don't have any room. If you go to a party, don't plan to leave early. If you have to leave early, don't come. What? No. Like, come enjoy yourself and then leave.
And like, you have to bring something? Sure. Bring flowers pre-cut in a vase.
Yeah.
Bring a candle. Bring something that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. That's fine. But like,
eat before you come, even if they're serving food? No.
Well,
that's rude.
I do. I was going to say I do that,
that's
but that's
different
food
if you have food allergies. But like if people have specifically like asked you what your food allergies are, preparing food, I think it's rude for you.
That's so rude.
That's rude for you not to eat.
Like, again, it really feels like they polled people who have been invited to exactly one party and never been invited back. I'm like, who are you? Like, where are you so I can avoid your house party like the fucking plague?
Mm-hmm. I implore everyone to read through this article and let me know.
Crazy. And if you are doing drugs, test them. And also always have Narcan on you, 2 doses. Okay? You can learn how to do it. It is free at the pharmacies. They will also teach you how to do it. But test your meds. Anyway.
Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome. Passionate about that one.
All right, we're going to take a break.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Looking for an easy workout? You're in the wrong place. Peloton Tread has what you need to challenge yourself. Need to be pushed to your limit? Their elite coaches will keep you on track to break past your goals. Whether you're looking to get stronger or faster, Peloton Tread has everything you need to become everything you want. Find your push. Find your power. Peloton. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
All aboard! Welcome to the Friskies Express. Please keep all paws and tails inside the train. To the right, you'll see Crunch Canyon. To your left is Filet Falls. Now you're passing Party Mix Peak. Today's Delicioso tour is almost over. But don't worry, with Friskies, there's always more to explore. Check out friskies.com to explore more.
We are back from our break, and it is time for our next segment. What is our next segment, Melissa?
Our next segment is, but are you wrong? And that's when you write in to us at butamiwrongpod@gmail.com and share any type of predicament that you're in. And then we'll let you know if you're wrong or not. You want to keep it to 300 words or less. Always include your ages. And if you want, include your pronouns. And let us know all the valuable information that we need to make a decision. As Meghan has stated before, give us a thesis statement up top and then close it with am I wrong for? Or in whatever incarnation that you want, just so that we know what we're answering.
And while we don't show them because we value your privacy, if you need to send us screenshots for something, please do. We fucking love that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, has that person written back in about the man that they went on a date with who was super fucking weird and anti-Semitic? Because just say the word, we're ready to help you out. Anyways, first up, I am 21, she, her, as is my friend in this story, or friend-ish. We will call her Jenny. Jenny is my boyfriend's friend's girlfriend, and I've known her as this for a few years. She's generally not a very nice person to her boyfriend, my boyfriend, or other people around us. For example, she will talk about people's bodies behind their backs, including myself, attempt to exile people she doesn't like from plans, and go crying to her boyfriend when she feels like she's been mistreated, usually one of us standing up for somebody else. I have been at the end of a lot of her bullying in the past, and as a result, my boyfriend has stood up for me a lot. She's invited me and some of my other friends, as well as some of my boyfriend's friends, for bottomless brunch as a pseudo birthday celebration, which is odd because her birthday is in July. We are not close at all, and she already had a party. However, my boyfriend is not invited. Would I be wrong if I didn't go because of this? It's less that I'm unwilling or unhappy to do things without him, but more that I see a lot of her actions as bullying, and I don't want to co-sign these things she's done and will do simply because she's decided somewhere along the way that I am a friend. You are not wrong at fucking all. How is SOS? How is Jenny's boyfriend?
Right. Also, even if she did invite your boyfriend, you wouldn't be obligated to go. If you don't think that she's a friend, then just don't go and stop making her think that y'all are friends.
Yeah. I fear that this is not the line in the sand to not co-sign her behavior. Mm-hmm. I think that the behavior has been co-signed because she's still around and in your guys' orbit, but I don't fault you for that whatsoever. And like, you say things, you're not like letting her get away with the stuff that she's saying. It's more along the lines of like your boyfriend, and he's also in a hard spot where it's like, hey, your girlfriend is a horrible person. She treats people really badly, but it sounds like she also treats her boyfriend poorly. And so I think he might feel conflicted about not wanting to isolate said friend, but it's co-signing her behavior if you spend time with her with people like, and you know what I mean? Like if you're not the only one on the receiving end of her shit, like it is, even if you say something, like I would, if I was like a new friend or a new girlfriend, I would like to be warned to be like, don't come. She's so mean and evil.
Right.
So yeah, you're not wrong at all. But also, why do you guys still talk to her at all?
Exactly. Move on.
Because that's a level where it's like, if you, as the boyfriend, he's co-signing the behavior, but like, even if he's on the receiving end of it, I'm like, if you're cool with that, that's fine. I'm not cool with it. So therefore, I'm not going to tolerate it.
All right. Next one. Hey, Meghan and Melissa, I am writing to see if I'm wrong for not celebrating 4th of July. It is legit my least favorite holiday. I barely even consider it a holiday, and the whole country was not independent on Independence Day. My problem doesn't really lie within myself. If it was just me, I'd say fuck it and enjoy my day off. The issue is I have 2 kids, a toddler and a 6-year-old. I feel like I am depriving them of celebrating with fireworks and everything. 1, I have no intentions of literally blowing up money. Have you seen inflation prices? 2, I want them to grow up open-minded and not brainwashed that this holiday is anything special. I plan to take them to my parents' house. Their neighborhood does a nice fireworks show and barbecue every year. Am I wrong for only doing that and not trying more? No. Like, you can, 4th of July for me and for Meghan is just a day out of the week where people are blowing stuff up, having a barbecue, maybe going swimming. It's just like another day. I think like you just teach them what Independence Day is actually about and not this whole thing about America the Great bombs bursting in air, that type of shit. Just be open with them. Tell them what this quote unquote holiday is. I, for one, was like, last year, it didn't seem that, I don't know why it got so bad on 4th of July. I forgot it was not in the country last year.
It wasn't, this year was bad. I don't know why, but
I wasn't even here to suck
I can
it
tell
in.
you, I was
and
here.
I wish, I'm like, next year and every year after, I will not be in this country during 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because it was just so loud and annoying. But, that's a privilege. But like, I think you can still enjoy fireworks to a certain extent. Like the beauty of it. You can't ignore them. I think that you can enjoy a barbecue and you can enjoy friends gathering, but just be truthful about what the day is.
Yeah, I co-sign that wholeheartedly. Like, I was not raised in like a patriotic household whatsoever. But I remember by the time I was in high school, I was like, I want to like wear an American flag bikini, which I had to hide under my clothes because my dad would have fucking killed me, and like celebrate 4th of July. But that was because like no one was I didn't like America, but for me, it was like 4th of July was like, okay, yeah, we don't like America every day. Like, this is a fun day we have off. Can I just whatever? And I'm like, as long as you pair it with explaining the why to that and like why specifically it's your kids can understand how fucked the American history is and what the results have been over all this time, but specifically what this day, the propaganda that has been around it versus what this day actually is. And, all of those things, throw in the capitalism aspect of it. And then again, like it becomes a President's Day, a Veterans Day. It becomes like a day you have off that mattresses are on sale. And like, you want to have a day off? Like, we live in California. So a day we have off doesn't have to be the 4th of July for fireworks to happen. And also like, you might go to the beach any day. Like it doesn't have to be, but I think in general, when you, if you put parameters around something for kids, I think not just a one-time explanation, but like an age-appropriate continued explanation of that is helpful, because I think it took me until adulthood to like know why I felt the way I did about things. Like I knew like this was the overarching thing, but like learning more about it, I think just helpful for your kids to align with the same belief system. So you're not depriving them. They'll understand.
Same with Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like what you're doing is the most I've ever done for 4th of July. And like, I don't even know what else you would do, Yeah.
You can't ignore it.
No, it's impossible.
Unless you leave.
As long as we're not leaving to the UK. That's where I draw the line.
That's where I draw the line too.
I send 4th of, where I feel like we'd have a great 4th of July? Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break.
Get softer, smoother, and more even-toned skin after just one use with the new Gentle Exfoliating line from Cetaphil. Formulated with a unique triple acid blend that promotes surface skin cell renewal, these gentle chemical exfoliators remove dead skin cells and refine skin's texture while hydrating, resulting in softer, smoother, more even-looking skin. Shop the new Cetaphil Gentle Exfoliating line in the face and body aisles at your local Target store or online at Cetaphil.com.
The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid is about performance. Not just on the road, but in life. With not only trunk space, but room to make memories. It's electric, with a backup plan, where the only speed that matters is how fast you can slow down. The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid. Performance where it matters the most. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back back from a break, and we're going to get into our final segment, which is But Are They Wrong?, where we nominate a person, place, or thing that needs to be publicly shamed, and we've taken that responsibility upon ourselves as the selfless humans we are.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be more excited to shit talk this woman, because the way that the hatred I had for her burned so deep, and then I forgot she existed. She's back again. And you know what has not gone away? My hatred for her. I would like to nominate MyKayla Skinner. So,
oh yes. She was she almost made my list, but I found one that topped her. So
MyKayla Skinner was an alternate for Tokyo Olympics, and she was someone who she was not even on my fucking radar. And I'm someone who I love the Olympic trials for the U.S. women's gymnastics team. Like I'm up on it. She was not really on the radar, and she ended up she was the bottom of the people who got to go to Tokyo, and she was pissed. So immediately after she did not make the Olympic team, she was on Twitter liking things that involved monkey emojis about Gabby Douglas. Her boyfriend was tweeting not even emoji, straight up fucking racist things. They were photoshopping her face on Gabby, saying she should have been there. And this was all years ago. And diving into it back then, it was clear from reading into it that this was very on brand for her. She was a massively sore fucking loser who was so quick to shit talk anybody else, and was surprisingly, not friends with many of the other girls there who were all very close to each other. And so the only reason she was able to get her fucking silver medal was because Simone got the twisties and she had to step up. And she has been doing this like she is the God's fucking gift to gymnastics, and everybody else is just a fucking idiot who has not seen how good she is. But it's, we all do have eyes and have seen the scores, but also more specifically have eyes, and she has a horribly racist MAGA boyfriend as well, who's now, I think, her husband, and they had a baby. And she is, I want to say, also 27. Yeah, she's also 27. And she has a YouTube channel. And I thought we heard the last of her, that she was, through a fluke, was able to get that Olympic medal, and then we were never going to hear from her again. Because if it was me, and I knew that I truly do not deserve it, I would have kept my mouth shut. No. She has a YouTube channel, of course. She lives in Utah, by the way, too, where she got on her YouTube channel and talked about the Olympic trials and the Paris Olympics, and quoted saying, "Besides Simone, I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't what it used to be. I mean, obviously a lot of girls don't work as hard. The girls don't have the work ethic." And then she said that she could have likely made the team if she competed. "A lot of girls don't work as hard, and it's too hard because of safe sport." Let me give you a little asterisk if we don't remember what safe sport is. Safe sport is what had to happen after, I don't even know if it happened. I want to say it became in full effect after Larry Nassar, but it's specifically to protect the gymnasts from the sexual abuse and physical abuse from their coaches. But again, predominantly about the sexual abuse. Okay. She said, "Coaches can't get on athletes, which in some ways is really good. But at the same time, to get where you need to be a gymnast, you do have to be a little aggressive, a little intense." So Safe Sport is an independent organization designed to prevent and respond to sexual, physical, and emotional abuse for the Olympic and Paralympic movement. This is the organization who they had to do the investigation for Larry Nassar and all of that kind of stuff. And people have criticisms that Safe Sport might not even be safe and is not even maybe doing enough. And her whole thing is, this is okay, we're doing a little too much here. And the craziest fucking part is she is speaking about the teammates that she went to the fucking Olympics with. She's talking about the people, her prior teammates. She's already talking about those people. She is 27 years old. This girl is not coming out of fucking retirement. You are not Simone Biles. Delusional. Truly fucking delusional. Simone Biles is the first 27-year-old to have competed on the Olympic team, I think, regardless of country, but I know for the USA, in at least 70 fucking years. This is crazy. To view yourself so very different than how you objectively are is fucking wild to me. She even mentioned something about how specifically, I can't find this quote anywhere, she scrubbed this one, but she said something similar along the lines of Suni Lee doesn't have the typical, gymnast body type. So critiquing in the sense of being these girls, they don't even have the right bodies to do this, which I go, all you bitches are under 5'4", and all of you bitches are stocky and strong as fuck. You all,
if you're physically doing it, then your body can do it. Therefore, you have the body to do it.
MyKayla, do you have the body to do it? Because you're not doing it right now. And no, you don't have the body. You just had a baby. You shouldn't have most people do not continue to have. You are also, Sunili is, I think she just turned 21. She is 6 years younger than you. Like, Simone is the only 27-year-old who is physically capable of doing this at this moment. This is an insane fucking thing to say. And then she even, I'm not going to say she apologizes. She really doubles down and then gaslights people into thinking what she said. It was different. Saying on her Instagram stories that her actions were misinterpreted and misunderstood. A lot of the stuff I was talking about wasn't always necessarily about the current team because I love and support all the girls that made it. And I'm so proud of them, even though she literally is talking about Paris. It was more about going back into my own gym and the work ethic is different compared to what we were doing in the Marta era, which again, the Marta era is the Larry Nassar era. So truly, what the fuck? Like, genuinely, what the fuck? And I'm not sticking up for Marta or saying what she did was good. I'm just saying it was different. Sorry if anything got out of context or it was hurt or it seemed hurtful. I love those girls and I'm seriously so happy for them. I would never do anything to make them feel otherwise. No.
Don't talk.
Shut the fuck up. Then Simone Biles tweeted, not everybody needs a mic and a platform. Ayo. And every single member who is her also former team members of the current and former U.S. Olympic gymnastics team have unfollowed her on social media.
Well.
Yep. And again, like, I can't stress enough the delusional aspect of this. And her boyfriend was even liking shady shit about Simone, like not being able, like her having the twisties and not being able to like perform. And like, she's letting him say all this fucking nasty shit, like whatever. First of all, collect your man. And you are a gymnast, so you of all people should understand that this happens to everybody. It's super fucking dangerous. She's essentially through him has also been, and she likes shit. She like likes all the passive aggressive shit. She likes the racist shit. She like likes and engages with all of that fucking content. And I cannot stress enough that if you watch this girl's gymnastics, the one thing I will give her credit for, she's very brave. She's very brave.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that they say, do this. She doesn't question. She doesn't think about if she has the capabilities of doing it. She will do something not well, not something that is within her wheelhouse and not done safely or looking nicely. And that's it. So people have always said like, she's the girl who like, she'll try anything and maybe 1 out of 100 times she'll stick it. It's not going to look good. The technique is not going to be there, but she'll fucking try it. And she'll do dangerous shit. Not well. And like, usually not even to completion.
There's a male gymnast to make the team. I don't know all the technicalities of this, but he tried a whole bunch of a whole bunch of really hard things just because you get difficulty points. And he knew he wasn't going to stick it. And like, this was something that him and the coaches had like come up with so that he would make the team. And so I don't even know if it was a team. It might have just been for an event that they needed him in. So like he tried a lot of things and tried it like, he didn't do good. And I think a lot of it was like purposely he didn't do good. But as long as he tried it, then he got the points for it.
Yeah. So it's your difficulty score. So Simone's is so much higher. So when if she falls off the beam, she's still going to win because her difficulty score, like the potential number that is out of that the starting is higher than everyone else's. So even if she got all the deductions, and so you strategically plan what those deductions could be. So essentially, like what you always want to account for is your dismount or your landing, because that is like the one you could stumble. You're sticking it. That's the MyKayla Maroney. Like very rarely are you going to have that fucking stick it moment, but you should be able to execute it while it's happening. So you should be able to like complete the full turns. You should be able to, when you say this is the trick that you are, or what you're doing, you should be able to execute that to its entirety. Maybe not land it perfectly, but not like twist out too early or too late because that becomes too dangerous, or with your legs apart or your hands like not where they're supposed to be. All of those things that affect how safe it is. And the whole thing with like the safety aspect of it and why not what they've come down on Simone for, because that's just not it. But for other gymnasts, they've like changed some things. They'll like lower down in points because they're not that safe. They're pretty dangerous. So they want to discourage people from trying or attempting those things. But for her, she's doing things that when you do things that are not safe, it encourages other gymnasts or other people to try things that they are not capable of doing. Versus like Simone, she's capable of finishing everything and she's not going to hurt herself in this. Like her skill set is fine. Maybe the landing, she might go out of bounds or whatever. And that's way less of a deduction than someone supposed to be doing like 3 turns and they do 1 or they do 2 or whatever it is. And doing it like well. And like, yeah, she's got that vibe of being like, well, fucking try it. Like, just fucking try it. And I'm like, you're not doing this safely and you're encouraging other people to not do things safely. And it's not even like when you do them, they look great.
Ridiculous.
No.
Jealousy at its finest.
You know what? In the words of Olivia Culpo, evil. 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 Evil little girl.
If y'all don't get that, please listen to See You Next Tuesday. All right. Mine is also Olympic related, but much darker. I'm nominating the Dutch National Olympic Committee, the International Volleyball Federation, and also Steven van de Velde. He is a Dutch beach volleyball player who served time in prison for raping a child 10 years ago when he was 19, and he's going to be representing the Netherlands at the Olympics this year. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison in 2014 for raping a girl who was 12. And then the director at Nevobo said, "We know Steven's history." This is Michel Everett, the Dutch Volleyball Federation said in a statement. He also said that the federation spoke extensively with the Dutch National Olympic Committee and the International Volleyball Federation and Van de Velde before his return to the spot. He was convicted at the time, according to English law, and he has served his sentence. From then on, we have been in constant contact with Steven, who has now been fully reintegrated into the Dutch volleyball community. So then Steven said to the national broadcaster NOS, "I did what I did. I can't take it back, so I will have to carry the consequences. You can judge, of course. It is the biggest mistake of my life." Of course it is. And then back to this Everett guy. He is proving to be an exemplary professional and human being, and there have been no reason to doubt him since his return. The Federation also noted that he was aware that this black period was in his life and it would resurface, but is obviously not happy about it. And then in a statement released by Nevobo, Van de Velde said that he is grateful for the chance. The Dutch NOC added that he returned to the professional sport on the basis of its guidelines, which set out, among other things, the conditions under which athletes in top-level sports can return after a conviction. The International Olympic Committee told CNN that the nomination of individual team members following qualifications on the field of play is the sole responsibility of each respective National Olympic Committee. Therefore, we would refer to the Dutch NOC for further information. And then the CEO of the U.S. Center for Safe Sport said in a statement sent to CNN that the organization was deeply concerned that anyone convicted of sexually assaulting a minor would participate in the 2024 Olympics. With teams from around the world about to convene in Paris, many of which include minor athletes, this sends a dangerous message that medals and money mean more than their safety. Participants in the sport is a privilege, not a right, she added. So why is he allowed there?
It's a great question, considering, if I'm not mistaken, it was between them and there's one, it's another a specific country in Africa that back and forth year to year, the Dutch and this other country in Africa are the tallest humans in the world. So you've got a lot of fucking skyscrapers there. You got a lot of gangly ass, tall ass, lanky little fuckers there. And I promise you that there's so many, statistically, they're not all pedophiles.
You could have probably walked outside and spit and hit somebody.
You would have to close your eyes and wear a bubble, earplugs in to not find it. Like, fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a reason why that is not the side of my heritage that I, there's just, it's nasty. And when there are full countries or where you've got predominantly blonde hair, blue eyes people who have very much, very, very similar looks and heights and everything. You have to question, how did that happen? And in this day, 2024, how is that continuing to happen? And what are we prioritizing here? As far as I'm also concerned, the Dutch don't dominate in volleyball. Like, I might be wrong, but like, you know, there's a lot of Dutch models. They're not necessarily like that's always the athletes, but like the liability of, they're like, well, there's no other 12-year-olds around. So like,
but there are.
No, but like, as in, like, they're not playing 12-year-olds, but I'm like, I, as a woman in her 30s, would not feel comfortable playing with a pedophile, even though I'm not a child, because it's not just that I feel like he's a direct threat to me. I don't think that he should be here. And I think that he being here is disgusting. And then we're co-signing that behavior. And it's like, well, you know, redemption, served his time. I don't think that's enough time.
Neither do I. I also don't know how like teammates are okay with this. I don't know how the coaches are okay with this. I don't know how the federations, like, there's two of them that are just like, he did what he did.
Yeah. And I think about, often we'll hear when there are people, like, maybe, I don't think we've ever had one explicitly that's like a pedophile, but like predatory or even like really aggressive, hateful men. The women's team who has to travel with the men's team, they don't have any weight in saying like, hey, we're not comfortable with this because he's not technically our teammate, but we have to spend all our time with him, do our press them, and be associated with him.
Right.
And you're about to ruin all of this experience for all of these other fucking players. Like, it tarnishes like the legitimacy of all of it. It's just so nasty and sick, and for no fucking reason.
Meanwhile, like, the US is stricter, and last Olympics, Sha'Carri got disqualified from the Olympic team because she smoked weed, even though it was legal in her state.
Yeah. And Simone had to fight and almost wasn't even able to take her Adderall for her ADHD while at the Olympics. And they had to like petition hard for that. Okay. You have to be the best of the absolute fucking best for an American. And then also you have to be perfect if you're going to be a Black American. But you're a Dutch man, blonde, 6'5", finance. Looking for a guy in finance. Him? You can rape a kid. And then we have to be like, he's a victim. Don't be so mean to him. Ugh. I'm looking at how much they've even won. Yeah, Summer Olympics, the last gold medal they won was 1996.
Not even impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if someone said, hey, make it or break it, in order for this to happen, you have to have a pedophile on your team. I'm going to say no. But also, you're still going to fucking lose. Yep. And then you're losing with a pedophile on your team. How fucking dumb do you, like, that's so embarrassing. Nasty.
All right. Well, that's the end of the episode.
We hope you all enjoyed. We hope you're excited for the Olympics like we are. Unless you're here to be like that Australian woman who wanted to talk shit on our swimmers. Because you know what I say to that? Pack your bags, get on the plane, and start crying because that's what she did. So, And here's the thing. I'm like, I want to see lots of people succeed. There are some places I don't want to see succeed at all. I don't want to see the Dutch volleyball team succeed. And then there are some times where I'm like, no, the Americans must win this. I carry that. I feel about that so deeply. But I'm excited to watch all of this. Skateboarding, all of it.
Oh, also, I misspoke the last episode, and I said, or some episode that came out last week, that I said that golf wasn't an Olympic sport. It is.
I recently found that out because Mott said, we're going to watch. He's like, we were going over what to watch. And he was like, well, basketball, golf. And I said, no. And he's like, soccer. And I said, no, we're not watching anything that is regularly played on sports on TV. I don't care about any of that. I will watch skateboarding. We'll watch archery. We'll watch all of the Olympic sports. I'm not about to watch the fucking men who play in the NBA play men in the NBA in other countries.
But I will watch WNBA.
Well, that is different.
Right. I found out because I'm preparing for my time outside. So I've been following like these clothing brands that are golf and tennis related. And then the US Olympic outfit came across my screen. I was like, oh, there is, I had no clue.
They're here.
I had no clue. I got excited last night when I turned on Days of Our Lives on Peacock, and they've changed the Peacock logo to incorporate the Olympic logo on the side. And I was like, it's coming. We still got, 3 weeks still? But it's coming.
I feel the same way when I've been watching just anything on TV. It suddenly Peacock becomes Disney Channel, and the only ad I'm seeing is Peacock for the Olympics, and I'm going, yeah, show it to me. And I'm just like obsessed. And I just saw a TikTok of a man who's like 106 or 108 years old, World War II vet, and like he went to was at the Olympic trials, and they were like, we heard that you're here, and like you want to see your favorite gymnast, your favorite athlete. And he was like, Simone Biles, and she like runs up, and he's like so excited, and his partner's like so excited, and I was like, oh, a true fucking American. That's a patriot. USA, respect for my soldiers, a fucking men, and God bless America. You don't even need to add the sound effect there. You did it perfectly.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, we'll circle back.
There you go. But Am I Wrong is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMont, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
And production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to speak of them or talk about them or in any way portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. It would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.